There's one thing that separates professional footballers from everyone else, and it's not what you expect. Stick around for the next 5 minutes to learn what that is. Now, if you can't stick around for the next 5 minutes, then I guarantee you're not going to be willing to put in the countless hours of work that it takes to become a professional footballer or a high-level footballer. So stick around. Now, the number one thing that separates professional footballers from everybody else is not the time spent in training, it's not their pace or their agility or their finishing or their shot blocking, it's how calm they are under pressure. Every single footballer in the world under zero pressure can look like a decent player at minimum. If you have all the time and the space and no pressure, you can dribble freely, you have more time to think, you can be more creative, you can always get the ball onto your strong foot and do whatever it is that you want to do. But when you're under pressure from elite level athletes, that's when things change. So all of the hours that you spend in training shouldn't just be spent on executing and perfecting a skill, it needs to be executing a skill under pressure and getting a positive outcome. So if you perfect a skill when you're under no pressure, but you get in a game and you're under pressure and you can't do it, then all of that work and the talent that you've created is useless. There's no point to it. So make sure your training is game realistic to being under pressure. Number one, the first thing that you can do to become more calm under pressure is to change your environment. And this can be thought of in several different ways, but changing your environment can be, rather than just going into team training, also doing work with a private trainer or by yourself or a teammate so that you're in a different environment under different pressure in different situations. Private training or training alone or with a teammate is going to give you a much different picture and view of football. It's going to be more difficult when you're one-on-one with somebody having to put in work and you're getting that attention for an hour straight with high pressure on you, with eyes on you. In team training, it's really easy to kind of sink into the background and not really get the attention of coach. It's easy to take a break. It's easy to take time off because the coach is looking at 50 other players. So you need to make sure that you have different environments and situations that you train under. Maybe the environment you're in is not a high level team. Maybe the coach isn't serious. Maybe it's not all about development and improving the players, but it's only results oriented. Changing your environment by switching teams, switching clubs, that can always be something that's a catalyst and that sparks your calmness under pressure, that sparks something new inside of you. So if you have aspirations of being a professional footballer or being a high level footballer, then you need to make sure that you're training in a professional environment or at least a high level environment. Training in a situation where a coach shows up and he puts you in lines or she puts you in lines and just has you pass or shoot a ball for an hour and a half, that's not realistic. That's not what the professional level looks like, and that's not what a high level looks like. You need to make sure the environment that you're in is conducive to whatever your goals are. And that change of environment to a new club can mean a better environment that's focused on your development, but it'll also bring out something different in you. Getting out of your comfort zone, going to a new club or a new team will make it so that you have to make these new friendships, you have to make these first impressions, you have to be performing at your best to win a spot in the starting 11. Regardless of what changing your environment looks like, if you can just get an extra 1 or 2% out of your training sessions over the long term, that's going to make such a massive difference in your development. Number two, to be more calm under pressure, you need to be under that pressure. So talking about the first point of changing the environment, we now get into specific exercises or training drills that you can do to become more calm on the ball under pressure. The first exercise that you can do is going to involve a rebounder. So get a rebounder, I'll link some below, but if you don't have the ability to buy one of the ones that I've linked, that's fine. Go ahead and find a wall somewhere, find a piece of wood, find something that you can kick the ball off of and it'll come back to you. And that can also be a teammate. So once you have that rebounder or that object there, you need to work on hitting the ball into that object as hard as you can. Hit the ball very hard so that it comes back to you with pace, and you need to focus on your first touch and controlling that ball with both static and directional touches. You can then take this a step further and have the ball pinged in to this rebounder, and as it comes at you, you have to decide which way you're going to go. Am I going to use the outside of my left foot to take a touch and try to spin a defender? Am I going to take a static touch, the inside of my foot, then get on the turn and face a defender? And you can progress this by adding a goal goal when you turn, hitting the ball in, receiving in a direction, or taking a static touch, and then facing the goal and getting a shot off. And then the second exercise can be with a teammate, or again, just with cones, imagining that the cones are actual defenders. So if you're a center mid, you need to work on receiving the ball, beating a man, and then finding a pass. Get that distribution, get a good passing range. So one thing you can do with a teammate, have them ping the ball into you, then they run and they put pressure on you heavily, and then you have to beat them and then find some distribution, find a ball wide into a mini goal or between some cones. Now, you can also do this without a teammate. Again, using a rebounder, hit the ball in, and on the turn, have a set of cones or a mannequin that you can then try to beat and then find distribution wide. And as an attacker, it's very easy to change this to make this applicable to you. You can just add a goal at the end. So make sure you're receiving the ball under pressure from a teammate or a hard pass off a rebounder, getting on a turn, driving past your teammates, a mannequin, or some cones, and finding a finish at 100% effort. Either way, whatever you're doing and what position you play, you need to make sure that this is at 100% because a game is not going to be at 50%. So your training cannot be at 50%. Number 3, and one that might be new to you, is visualization. It's one that a lot of players may have heard of, but they don't actually implement, or they don't implement it correctly. I'll keep this one short. Very simply, you need to sit down, close your eyes, and think about what success looks like for you. If you're an outside back, you need to think about what sorts of situations you'll be in game and how you can win those battles and do those things that'll make you successful. If success for you as a fullback is winning your 1v1 battles, then driving forward and finding a pass that's 10 or 20 yards, you need to make sure that you're thinking about that and visualizing what that success is so that you can then go into training and work on those specific things. Likewise, if you're a striker, you need to understand the opponent that you're coming up against and visualize who are their center backs, who are their fullbacks, who is their six, and where am I going to find success in this game. If you have a good mental picture and an idea of what will make you successful, having that in your mind will naturally make you ready to perform in game under pressure. And lastly, number 4, just play more. Get out and play more games. Get in the streets with some friends, go to the park and play some pickup, get in some five-a-side leagues, go and just find every opportunity that you can play more, because the more you play, the more instincts you'll develop, the more confidence you'll develop, and you'll just naturally become more confident and calm on the ball. Players that are inexperienced and they don't play in very many games, maybe they're sitting on the bench a lot and they don't get very many minutes, they're not going to be ready to deal with that pressure because they haven't been in those game situations. So whatever your situation is, it never hurts. Get out and play more. So I hope you found this video useful. Make sure you like and subscribe because I post weekly content that'll help you to become a better footballer. And while you're here, comment down below, which of the 4 things that we talked about today do you need to work on the most? Thanks, I'll catch you in the next video.